Today everyone, we're going to be making SPANAKO meatball. This Greek-inspired meatball will be served with a variety of roasted vegetables. The dish weighs about 400 grams and only has 390 calories. This is the perfect dish to eat during your weight loss journey. First, we're going to be making the SPANAKO meatballs using lean ground turkey. In a pot of boiling water, we're going to blanch some spinach. The spinach will be submerged in hot water and then cooked for 30 seconds. This will cook really fast, so make sure you have a strainer with a bowl beside you. After 30 seconds, this will be strained and then washed under cold water to stop the cooking process. Once the spinach has completely cooled and can be held with your hand, we're going to squeeze the water as much as we can. Once we've squeezed out most of the water, we're going to place it onto a cutting board and then slice it thoroughly. We're looking for very thin strands of spinach. In a bowl of lean ground turkey, we're going to add in our spinach, feta, dill, Greek seasoning, garlic powder, lemon juice, lemon zest, salt and pepper to taste. Once everything's in, this will be mixed thoroughly with our hands until everything's been combined. This should have a total weight of around 700 grams. Now we're going to make 20 meatballs out of it, with each meatball weighing 35 grams. If you don't have a scale, just eyeball it, just try to make it all even. Once we bleed out all the meatballs onto a tray, this will go into the oven and bake for 15 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. This is what it looks like when it's done. While our meatballs were cooking, I was prepping the roasted potatoes. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. We're simply going to cut this in half. Once we have 750 grams of Yukon Gold potatoes, we're going to add in 15 milliliters of olive oil, 10 grams of garlic powder, 10 grams of salt, and 5 grams of black pepper. This will be given a good toss in a bowl until everything's been thoroughly combined and then placed onto a tray and right into the oven. This will be roasted for 30 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's done in the oven, it should have developed quite a bit of color. Now for the roasted veg. This was being prepped while the potatoes was in the oven. First, we're going to cut zucchini into 1.5 inch pieces. It's very simple. We're simply going to cut a zucchini in half lengthwise and then cut it into 1.5 inch pieces. As for the bell pepper, the same thing will be done. The sides will be cut down and then cut into 1.5 inch cubes. 1.5 bell peppers should yield about 200 grams. And lastly, the same thing will be done to the red onions. This will be cut in 1.5 inch cubes. Half a red onion should yield about 200 grams. Once everything's in the bowl, we're going to throw in our salt and pepper mix, our Greek seasoning, and a little bit of olive oil. This will be thoroughly mixed by tossing it into a bowl and then placed onto a tray. This will be roasted in the oven for 10 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. After 10 minutes in the oven, the vegetable should only be about 80% cooked. Finally, we're going to make tzatziki. First, we're going to very finely dice a cucumber. If you're too lazy to dice it, you can also use a box grater and just grate the cucumber. Once the cucumber's been cut, in a bowl of Greek yogurt, we're going to throw in our cucumber, salt, dry dill, and lemon juice. This will be thoroughly mixed and then placed into portion cups at 40 milliliter portions. Now let's plate. Here's our dish after being microwaved for 2 minutes. This dish is extremely light and easy to eat. It's the perfect lunch. Each 35 gram meatball has 6 grams of protein and 41 calories. The dish as a whole has about 30 grams of protein, so if you want to add more protein, simply add more meatballs.